can attest to this. Not all BPOs are created equal.
No, they're not, and it's really it's great to hear you say that, because it's something that we've struggled with to show pre-sales.
Mhm.
Post-sales, I can demonstrate it. Once you've paid, once you've signed up, once you're doing it, you're like, every client of ours says we love it. My biggest challenge is, how do I demonstrate that post-sales? Like,
Well,
what
here's
would you,
another one. Let me indulge you with another one.
sure.
So one of the problems they expressed was they had to switch a piece of software, and their BPO was very resistant to it because they had already trained all the people and they're already going, and why do you want to change it? And I'm like, well, you have your reasons, and whether they agree with them or not, they need to get on board. But in our case, every new piece of software that's been presented has been adopted rather quickly. And now some of that is, our own people adopting it quickly and making that part of the culture, right? But within Origo, it's well received on the other side. So the introduction of new software, new technology is not off-putting to anybody in our team in the Philippines. And that's a huge advantage when you're scaling technology.
Yeah. Okay.
Over here, hiring people and then hiring people for a specific job, training them, and then changing the game is like major disruption to the business compared to when we do that with our offshore team. Our offshore team is much more accepting of new technology, new things, change in general. They're not resistant to it. They just they're looking for direction, they receive the direction, and they run with it. It's the culture we want to have everywhere, but we haven't achieved that fully in UST in the States. In fact, in the States, change management is a huge issue, right? And so I was telling you, Giener had to hire a change management person just to put this new IFS software into play. Okay. I don't have to do that with the team in the Philippines. Here, I may have to do that. But change in the Philippines seems to be more accepted for whatever the reason.
I'm going to take a stab and say that I hope this is where it comes from, that it comes from the top down, in the fact that we consider that an opportunity to grow more intimate with our clients, with you. I embrace it. Like, we're excited when I find out you're using a new piece of software, like right now for SmartCare and IFS. That is a huge opportunity for us to help them to be the ones, the pioneers, to adopt it fast, to encourage it, for no other reason that it binds us. I don't know if that's a selfish thing, but I think it works.
The two largest service companies in the U.S., Hobart and SmartCare, are both using IFS. Unfortunately, was never even on our radar when we were looking at moving, because I may have moved to IFS too. I don't know. I've never really investigated it because I'm already invested in my current solution. But from what I know, my solution is very similar to their solution. The only difference is I don't have an integrated ERP system. It's external and I integrate to it. But I think that's actually going to benefit me in the future because of added flexibility and working in the cloud, because we're almost 100% in the cloud now. And we will be in 100% in the cloud by the end of 2021. All of our stations could essentially be a dumb station. They're all operating in the cloud. Which helps us with our offshore team. That's another great thing. As you transition to the cloud, you open up the world globally. Another great thing about the Philippines is the time zones. the ability to help us, because we're operating in multiple time zones in the States, and we have multiple time zone or multiple people working at different shifts in the Philippines to help us accommodate everything we need to get done. And we actually like that flexibility. When we didn't know originally that they could work 2 different shifts. You could hire people in different shifts.
And you
And
guys have
that,
embraced that.
uh-huh. Yeah,
You
we
have.
really like that. We like to have people going all the time. It's kind of a good feeling for me and Bob to think that, we started a business 25 years ago, and almost 24/7 someone is working at UST. That's pretty crazy. And it's a little bit sobering when you think about where we started from and where it is today, that there are people working almost around the clock and in different parts of the world for us.